Hello to a short overview of the BIP panel, how to configure it, how to use it, and how to get it working. Because right now the profiles I provide are empty for the BIP panel and you have to do it yourself. For the future there will be a function to configure all the plates that come with the BIP panel from Zytec with their default configurations. I'm working on it, but give me some time. So first of all, you go to settings, BIP panel, Zytec BIP. Here you can configure the priorities of the colors. By default, the priority is off, green, yellow, red blinking, and red. So red blinking is by default higher prioritized. Wow, what a strange word. Than the normal static red color. If you want to change this, just change the numbers here. The priorities will be compared in sequence of the priority from lowest to highest. So then we go back to our BIP panel. Right now, as you can see, it's empty. There's a little green 0 for one plate I configured already, but has no name. If I go into it, see, it has no name. But we start from scratch. So we have an empty panel, an empty plate. Right click it, select configure, and in the select action you only have two options. The first one is ignore, as you always have, just to make a plate or any configuration for SPAD configured so you can enable it, but it doesn't do anything. Let me shut down my Outlook. So what you want to choose is simulation data. Simulation data means any information that is coming from the simulation can be used to drive a BIP plate. As for all offset selectors within SPAD, you have this little drop down here. You cannot enter anything here. You have to do the browse select. Then you get the select offset dialog where you can open the simulation data. It has 3,807 entries in it, and you get the different categories. In unregistered version of SPAD.next, you only have the FSU IPC option. For the registered versions, you also have the PMDG 737 and the PMDG 777 option, and of course the SimConnect options. For now I will choose a FSU IPC option. Let's see what we want to show. First we show a plate that will go on when the navigation lights are on. So we select the FSU IPC, cockpit, and then we have somewhere lights. There are the lights. If you know what you're looking for, you can always search for it. Just enter light and it will filter everything that light. And then we have here lights excuse me, lights navigation lights. So we select that by double click. The lights are a special simulation data. They're used in FSU IPC via bit offsets, so you cannot configure any values here. You just have to say when this flag is set, which color shall it get. Let's say we do it green when it's on, and we name it light. We click save, and there it is, and it becomes immediately green because the light is on. If I now switch the light off, let's see if I bound I haven't bound the button yet. So I quick bind the navigation light button. Simulation data light FSCI PC cockpit navigation light, value 1, and for off again light, cockpit navigation light. There's a little bug in this beta. Let's see. Switch is moving. Let's see if the light goes off. Yeah, it works. So if I switch the switch under my switch panel, the BIP panel will act accordingly. That's the easy part. We have again simulation data, FSU IPC offset, selected a light which is a bit offset, so we cannot configure it anything but say which color the plate shall get when the bit is set. If it's not set, the value will automatically be off. Now we want something more interesting. So we again select simulation data, say FSU IPC, and let's see, let's use the plane altitude. That's the altitude of the aircraft. Oh, it's an AG. Oh, that's not good. Let's do something different then. What do we take? We take the altitude value. That's a good idea because it comes in feet. So for a value, for simulation data that has information in it, which is not only on or off, you get a dialog like this. It's always the same. You have the colors on the left side, which color the plate shall get, and the caption. In this guy, we say it's RP alt. Okay, so next to the color you have the comparator. The comparator says how should SPAD.next compare the value it gets from the simulator. It's usually shown at current value here when the value is known already, against the number you give on the right side of the comparator. So you can switch between equals, less or equal, mass, not mass, any bit. For description of the options, you can see the FAQ part of the forums. It's explained there how the comparators work in detail. Important to know is if none of the values match, the plate will be automatically turned off. For the equations, SPAD.next will first try to find a value that equals a value. Only if it don't find an equal value, it will use the other comparators. So we start with a value for off. It shall be 0. Let's say we make it green if the value is greater or equal 10,000. We make it yellow if it's greater, let's say 9. That's a bug. If it's greater 9,500, we make it red blinking if it's less than 9,500, and we make it red if it's equals 9,500. So what SPAD.next does now, it goes through when it gets an update for this simulation data and looks which is nearest. If at the first match SPAD.next finds, it will stop comparing. So if we are at 11,000 feet, it will stop at green. If we are at 10,000, it will stop at green. If we are at 9,999, it will stop at yellow. and so on. So that's it. Let's see, and it becomes green. Why does it become green? Because let's see if I have the altitude. No, I have it in the radio panel. That's the current altitude of my aircraft. I've bound it to the radio panel right now. That's the programmed altitude of the autopilot, and that's the current altitude of the aircraft. We move it a bit here and get my old favorite Bombardier. Go to the virtual cockpit, and there you can see it's set to 11,000, and right now something is moving on the altitude. So we go back to the BIP panel, and now we'll instruct the plane to descend. Let's see. Okay, I haven't bound it to this version, so we have to bind it real quick. Display value, simulation data, autopilot, FSU IPC, autopilot, where is it? Speed. Hello. That's something with AP. Yeah. Speed, autopilot, altitude value. Value normalizer is default, in this case it's feet, and the tuner clockwise will be bound to that display value. No, to the display value. This means that the value that is shown here shall be changed if I turn the tuner. So it's currently set to 11,000 is my current altitude. So let's say we want to descend to 10,000. Plane starts to descending. 10,500. Give it a second. So here's a radio panel. Okay, we are coming close to 10,000, which is one of our offsets. So we said the color should be changing, if I remember right. So we are coming closer. Okay, 10,020 feet, 15, 12. So we're getting slowly to it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, come on. 2. Okay, staying at 2. 1. And come on, 1 feet, man. Dang. Okay, so we just go a little bit further down to 9,900. So as you can see, it turned immediately yellow because we said yellow. It's greater than 9,500, and because it's less than 10,000, this value will not match. So the next one will be okay, let's see. Okay, let's see if we can hit 9,500. Excuse me. So we move a bit more down to 9,500. Turned red already, because again red said it Oh, that's wrong. Oh, my priorities are wrong. Because it equals, why is it red? It should be equals greater. There's a bug. Gonna look into that, but it should. Let's do the blinking. It's less 9,500. So we go a bit further down, and now it starts blinking because we are less than 9,500 feet. That's the same basically for all other plates, for all other configurations, and that's the same for PMDG or SimConnect offsets. For the PMDG, I can put the annunciators on it. That's not currently fully configured, it's just the on-off value. I'm gonna work on that. And same goes for the 777. Same here, I'm working on configuring that. It's shitload of work because you have to do it all by hand because none of the manufacturers give good descriptions of their SDKs. It's a lot of handwork. And you have the same for normal SimConnect data. So I can here use let's use the altitude lock. If it's enabled, it shall be green. No, that's a as you can see here, it shows the current value. Didn't want the altitude lock, I wanted the altitude lock enabled. So again, simulation data, SimConnect, aircraft, altitude lock var. No, it's the wrong one. Altitude log hold. Yeah, mind the typo. And so it shall be yellow when it's 1. There. Oh, don't forget to put a name, as it will be named 0. Lock. There's a bug currently. It shows 1. Should be yellow then. Okay. So that's it about the BIP panel. As you might have noticed, the test button will turn on all your plates, so you know what plates are in. You don't see it here. But that's for it. One thing maybe, if you configured a plate with all the values and want to move it to another place, you can copy the configuration error. Misread. You can copy the configuration to the clipboard and paste it to another plate. And so now I have two alt buttons, but I can also go here, say copy, and I want to swap it with this one. Swap. Whoop. And you can here paste the other one that I swapped. I'm thinking about moving with the mouse, but that's golden knobs. In one of the next versions, you will get here a button to select default configuration, where you can select the plate which will come for FSU IPC and SimConnect pre-configured, so you can use that one. So that's all for now for the BIP panel. Hope it makes things a bit clearer. If you still have questions, pop into the forums. There are some of the beta testers that have extensive knowledge about how to program the BIP already, so they will be happy to help you out. And there are some sample XML fragments for the plates around in the general forum, I think. there will be a subforum for BIP configurations pretty soon, so we can gather all the fragments, and so have fun playing around with it. See you next time.